Right, all right, all right. Looked like a gentleman's sweep to me. I tell you what, the Denver Nuggets was on one of them finals. Hey, just wanted to quick shout out to everybody out there. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes and all of that. We really, really appreciate it. Front Office Podcast, we're just getting started. We're about to take maybe a little break, but we'll be right back at it in another week or two. Hey, maybe when we do, I'll be in studio with my boy Polo. I don't know. But Front Office Podcast, peace.
Welcome to the Front Office Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Cameron, and you just heard from our co-host, Sean Elwood. Congratulations to him for picking the correct finals prediction. Gentleman sweep, Denver Nuggets. We all saw it Monday night. Denver Nuggets are the world champions. Congratulations to them. We're going to get to the game in just a few minutes. Just let me go through a few administrative things real quick, or announcements, I should say. First thing is, of course, T-shirt was with Marked Up Clothing. That's going to be my line coming very, very soon. Tees and trees, definitely support. Secondly, there is, if you're in Columbia, South Carolina, there is a great party, a 90s party at 129 Oak Road, Lexington, South Carolina, sponsored by the Goodfellas. Big shout out to those guys. They always do great, amazing parties. So, if you're in the area, make sure you got your ticket from Eventbrite and check them out. Lastly, Elwood mentioned that we were going to be taking a quick break. Not stopping the show throughout the summer or anything like that. The break will probably be maybe a week, 2 weeks at the most. We're just making some upgrades to the show as far as equipment and, studio. Of course, once I get Elwood all the way here, then we can't do it in this little corner in the front office. So, but we're working on it. We're on top of it. I promise you, we won't be gone long. Definitely follow High Sky Visions, the Instagram page. That's going to be the official page for the show, and I think that's going to cover all of our administrative things. And as always, if you're subscribing to the show, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. You have no idea how much we appreciate it. Hopefully we'll grow bigger and get better and keep giving you guys great content. All right, so got to face the music. Let's talk about the game. As I said before, Elwood was correct in picking the gentleman sweep. I was wrong. I took the Heat in 7, and I got to stand on that. That's cool. I don't have a problem with it. I knew Denver was the better team, but I like an underdog. In most cases, I'm going to always pick an underdog. If you want real picks, my homeboy Softball Randy, he know how to call me and ask me what's really going on with the game. But as far as the game is concerned, I thought Denver really barely got out of that game, honestly. I thought they played well. I thought they played hard, but I think Mike Malone was right. They were a little tight, probably, holding on to every shot, every pass. I think they loosened up in the second half. The first half, Miami really controlled the tempo and pace of the game. I thought Strus was big early. Bam played great the whole series. I think he's really put a stamp out there that he's one of the better centers in the game. And he can definitely, he was going against Jokic. No excuse, you got to line him up. But I thought he did about as good a job as you can possibly do. Without a lot of help or traps and things of that nature. Bam went at him, and I salute Bam for that. As far as the game on Monday night, it was. I thought Hemi Butler having the game that he had was big, and it wasn't hurting him in the first half. It wasn't hurting him in the first quarter. It wasn't hurting him that he wasn't playing well in the second quarter. Really not even the third quarter. The fourth quarter, when he kind of had to pour it on, and I think he hit a couple big shots. I think he scored like 10 points in the fourth quarter, which is great. But they kind of needed him to even that out to pad that lead. I think Denver's one of those teams that you have to get a real lead. Everybody knows if you're watching the NBA, team could be up 30. The other team's going to make a run. That's just how that goes. The people who are up, the team that's up by 30 is going to take their foot off the gas. They're going to give guys who normally aren't playing more playing time. And if the other team is aggressive enough, they can definitely make a run. And I thought Jimmy not being really effective for most of the night hurt them. I thought they shot the ball well enough to win. I thought they played well enough to win, honestly. But you got to give Denver credit. Every time they made a great play or a great run, somebody made a big play. I think it was Michael Porter Jr. getting the steal. I can't remember what quarter it was. We were still in Orlando, and me and my wife were watching the game, and it just seemed like every time the Heat wanted to make a run, somebody makes a great play for Denver, and that's just how their playoff run has gone. You got to credit them. You got to credit their staff. They were amazing throughout the playoffs, and it was a tough run. It was a tough run. I think a lot of people like to nitpick and say, oh, well, this guy was hurt and this. Look, that's the highest level of basketball you can possibly be at. You have to give credit where credit is due, and Denver deserves all of the credit. Miami, of course, they're disappointed. Let's go to the hero thing, though. The Tyler Hero thing. Me and a good friend of mine were talking about that tonight. Shout out to Shabby. It's his birthday today. And he was asking me, like, why would they report, and we were both trying to figure out why would they report that Hero's going to play in Game 4 if they don't even put him out there. And I think it was just the last chess piece that Eric Spoelstra had. Throw him out there. Not throw him out there, but just put it out there in the media. Make Denver react. Make them be ready for it. Just something extra they have to get ready for. To give you a chance, because they just didn't have enough to beat them. You don't have anything to deal with Jokic. You don't have a great matchup with Murray besides putting Jimmy on him the whole game, and when you do that, you're burning Jimmy out on the other end. It was just Denver was just too much. And then when you're not, and when you do successfully stop Murray and Jokic, not even stop him, just slow him down. I think both of them were having a bad game, and that's the game Aaron Gordon has a playoff career high of like 27 points. He's a number 4 guy who, he's a number 4 guy on that team, but he used to be a number 1. So, I mean, that's the luxury they have with that team. That's why I always say that, they're the best team in the NBA. Now, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that team, because I think Bruce Brown is a free agent, and if I'm not mistaken, I think KCP is a free agent. Those are big pieces. They may not seem like that. Are they replaceable? Yes, absolutely. Are you going to replace them with somebody who's going to have the same chemistry, fit your cap space, and be able to accept the coaching that coaching staff is given? That's a gamble. That's the gamble you take. That's why it's a business. I saw a lot of stuff in the media today. We came back from Orlando, which Orlando was amazing. I enjoyed it to the max. It made me really appreciate my family, my wife. They were great the entire time. It was a much needed break. But while we were down there, I was kind of, just flipping through, and we got some time to just kind of relax and watching some sports stuff. And it's a lot of dynasty talk already being said. It's a lot of, oh, they're going to definitely win multiple ones. I would just caution everybody, this is what the media does. The media builds you up to be able to say, when you don't do it, they're a disappointment, or they haven't reached their full potential, because they already are talking dynasty after winning one championship. Not everybody in the media. I listen to JJ Redick. I told you before, I listened to his podcast. He wasn't talking media. He was just basically saying that they're going to be a team to contend with in the West for a long time. I agree. With the nucleus of Murray and Jokic, you have a shot every single year. On the flip side of that, you have KD and Booker in Phoenix. You still have Braun and Anthony Davis in LA. And I know what everybody's saying, oh, well, they can't do it. They didn't do it this year. Well, those teams are going to get better. They didn't win it, so they have more motivation to get better. So it'll be interesting how it shakes out. As far as the Miami thing, I've seen a lot of trades with Dame, involving Dame. I like Dame. I think Dame is Dame Dollar. It's Dame time. I like Dame. I just think Miami, unless Pat Riley pulls off some magical stuff, which he's known to do, you're going to have to give up a core piece to get Dame, and maybe multiple core pieces to get Dame. I mean, Dame is Portland's franchise player, so if I'm going to give him up, if I'm their GM, I'm absolutely asking for the bank. Yeah, you're not getting him for free. I mean, I'm not going to just give you this all NBA player. You're going to have to give me something. I'm thinking maybe Hero and a few other pieces. I think they'll be able to keep Jimmy and keep Bam. But if the Dame trade happens, it's definitely going to be Hero. If I'm Portland, that's definitely one guy I'm looking at. I might even try to get Caleb Martin, who's probably got 2 years left on his current deal. Kyle Lowry's cap is too high, though he was a high-quality player. I thought he played well, really, really well throughout the finals, honestly. He made a lot of winning plays. He's just older, and he can't do what he used to do, but, I mean, he was super effective. I thought the Heat don't have anything to hold their head about. They're going to be disappointed. I can only imagine what it feels like to lose at that level. I know playing high school ball, losing in the playoffs sucks. So I can imagine at that level, it's magnified like times 50. So they're going to be down, but I thought they did a tremendous job for them to come out of the East as an 8 seed, be in the play-in tournament, and get all the way to the finals and really go blow for blow. I think one of those games was a blowout. Everything else was kind of close. So I don't think it was just unmatched. I think everybody understood Denver's roster, though, and Denver's roster is a lot better than Miami's roster, and that's where, you get the slander. You get the people like, oh, it's over with in 1, it's over with in 2, or Nuggets in 3. Little funny jokes and stuff like that. And that, it makes for great TV. But if you were a real basketball fan and you actually watched this series, it was good basketball. It was really good basketball throughout the series. I thought the series was a lot closer than what it says. I mean, you can watch some series and say it wasn't close. Like, I think when Denver played Phoenix with KD and Booker, even though they're great, both top 5 or, top 5 players at their position, I didn't personally feel that series was close. I didn't feel like Phoenix had a chance, honestly, just watching the series. Same thing with Minnesota. The Lakers, I felt like a matchup just because of the AD factor. He just wasn't able to be as effective because Jokic is just Jokic. He's nothing. Me and my wife were talking about it. I mean, he's nothing special in regards to his speed or athletic ability. And I think we're going to have to even I think somebody said this on one of the shows. I might have to stop saying athletic ability when I'm referring to him, because he does do athletic things. He will block a shot. He will dunk. He does run the floor very well. For his size. He's never looks like he's really tired or gassed. Shoots the ball extremely well. Great passer. Pretty good rebounder as well. So I'm not sure I can say non-athletic. It just doesn't look overwhelmingly athletic like we're normally used to seeing. Shaq was overwhelmingly athletic. I didn't see Wilt Chamberlain play, but if you ask the older guys, they would probably say he was overwhelmingly athletic. Same thing with Bill Russell and Patrick Ewing and Hakeem Olajuwon. You don't get that from Jokic. It's more like Tim Duncan. And that's no knock to Timmy. I think Timmy is probably the greatest power forward to ever play the game. And he doesn't get a lot of credit, actually. He's a very underrated on a lot of people's lists. But Tim Duncan was smooth, could shoot, pass, very high IQ, tough. He reminds me of Tim Duncan, just a better passer and a better shooter. Jokic is that guy. He's on top of the world right now. I think Murray has boosted himself into the top 5 conversation for point guards currently in the NBA. I don't mean all time. I mean like currently right now. I would say on my list, I don't have my top 5 ready to go, but I can give you the 2 guys ahead of him are Steph at 1 and Luka behind Steph. Then I would put Murray. That's how I would rank that point guard rankings right now. And a lot of people base it on, oh, well, Murray won a championship. He's definitely better than Luka. Well, no. Winning a championship is not an individual stat. And I'm gonna keep saying that until y'all get it. That's not an individual stat. Making the all-star team is an individual stat. Leading the league in assists is an individual stat. Getting a scoring record or winning MVP or something like that, all defense or all NBA, those are individual stats or individual awards, accomplishments. Winning a championship is not. It literally took everybody on that Denver team from Christian Braun to Aaron Gordon, KCP, Bruce Brown, hell, DeAndre Jordan got into the game the other night. You know what I mean? Like, everybody plays their part, and that's why everybody in the organization gets a ring when you win a championship, because it's not just one or two guys. It looks that way because basketball markets it, the NBA markets that way. They market their players, whereas you take the NFL and they're marketing teams, they'll market players for sure, but everybody knows the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs because they have multiple great players that they can market on that team. And it's a lot of teams in the NFL that way. So, but yeah, I think Murray's in the top 5 conversation. Like I said, it'll be very interesting to see what they do with Brown and KCP. I see they made a move. I'm sorry, I'm just coming back from vacation. I don't have the move in front of me. But if you look on ESPN, Denver made a move like 2 days ago where they got like an additional draft pick for either this year or next year, which I thought was like amazing that you even making moves while you in the finals. That's great. That front office is really doing their job. Calvin Booth, Mike Malone, and his staff, they were great, and they deserve that championship. I would ease up on the dynasty talk. I heard Mike Malone say it in his press conference. I heard Jamal Murray say something about we're not done. Just be real careful. I'm a LeBron fan, and when he said what he said in Miami, honestly, I was kind of hype. I was so hype. I'm like, yeah, they're going to win 4, 5, 6. Never really processing the fact that if you don't win that, that's going to be held over your head forever. So why would you put the target on your back? But yeah, I would ease up on that. I do think they're going to be a top team in the West and a team that you're going to have to go through to get where you want to be for the foreseeable future. Injuries occur. Different things happen, trades, people get unhappy with teams, and this movement is made and it works out perfectly. That's why we watch sports. We watch sports because you don't know what's going to happen. I don't subscribe to any of the conspiracy theories or, oh, this is the script. Because if you're a real fan, you understand it's not a script. It's not a script. I don't care what John Sally or anybody else is saying. And I think people were taking out of context what he said when he was on that Vlad interview. He said the NBA didn't want the Detroit Pistons to win. It was supposed to be for Michael Jordan. Well, that doesn't mean the NBA went to throw games for Michael Jordan. It just means that, hey, we didn't expect the Pistons to be this good. Nobody expected Nikola Jokic to be this good, including the Denver Nuggets. So, you take that for what it's worth. That's really all I had, man. I just kind of wanted to make sure I stood tall and, faced the music as far as picking, like I said, Elwood. He was right. I was wrong. I'll take the L. I'll be back in basketball season. I have my shot at him in football season. As far as the summer is concerned, man, we got some different episodes and some things we're going to be doing as far as interviews and some different segments that we're going to be trying out. So feedback, as always, is appreciated and encouraged. Definitely leave comments, like and subscribe. I believe the Instagram tag should be popping up somewhere on here. I don't know where it is yet, but I'll try to leave it in the comments as well. Give us a follow on Instagram and stay tuned, man. It's going to be a big summer. We're excited. I'm super excited about this show. This is the 12th episode. I never even really kind of dreamed of being this far. Doesn't matter how many subscribers. There are people out there who are actually paying attention and liking it and appreciate what we're doing, and that's what it's all about. No matter how small we start, as far as the fan base is concerned, it's just about growing and developing that base. And I'm definitely thankful for the opportunity and for you guys tuning in. So, like I said, about a week, no more than 2 weeks, quick break. Working on some things, getting a new promo video up and getting some photo shoots done, some different things. So we'll be ready to go when we come back, man. But y'all enjoy. Again, Appreciate y'all checking in, and we will see you on the flip side. Peace.